Yo, Top Billin to ya. All right, Top Billin, man. Let me level with you here for a second. Man, your boy's got a lot of good stuff going on off the camera. Stuff is looking real hot, real greasy out here, baby. Heading into spring. Oh, man, can't complain at all, right? However, man, I wanted to talk to you guys about the direction of the channel right here, right, as far as the content goes. I've been seeing a lot of imitators out there. It's crazy, right? In a big medium, a big space like this, where there are endless opportunities and possibilities to talk about something different. I feel like, man, a lot of cats out there riding the Top Billin wave, want to talk about similar content, similar subject matter, get their videos recommended next to Top Billin and all this and that, because they see, man, how hard we hit the scene since we've been here at YouTube, killing it. So as always, I like to stay 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of people. And I've been thinking about, man, should I just go in a different direction, man? They can have that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? For the most part, right? Obviously, I still got to cover the core teams and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. I just like to provide people just a different avenue, a different way of thinking, a different way of going about stuff, even when it has to do with the actual subject and content matter, right? A lot of these other guys, they just want to be popular. I could give a flip less about being popular. Believe that, right? You should know that. If that was the case, well, I would be a lot more nicer to people, right? And I'm never going to be that. So not caring about popularity. I've been popular my whole life. And I care about satiating my desires to be a real football head and to really talk about the sport and to really be able to take you guys in depth as far as what goes on between the white lines and just different stuff of that sort, period, right? But man, it don't matter to me. I'm a real football head, man. I can reverse course and go back to where it started, right? A lot of people don't know this. They think I was born on YouTube or something like that. But I've been at this shit for like 7 years, right? 7 years. I started off as a sports writer, a featured columnist at Bleacher Report, covering the New Orleans Saints in professional football, right? I covered a myriad of teams there, but I started with the New Orleans Saints in that particular market right there. It's where everything first happened. First been on a whole bunch of different radio shows and just introduced in the business that way and having huge performing articles on that major platform there at Bleacher Report at that particular time. And man, it got me thinking, right? Especially after doing some of the combine stuff and people asking me all the stuff about the NFL. It just got those juices flowing. A lot of people don't know I'm an NFL guy. I love NFL more than college. I just love football, period. But obviously, you can't go wrong with professional sports because these guys are doing the best of the best, right? There's nobody's there is going to be a dry cleaning agent or anything like that in the future. So everybody's there a professional. So you get to run your professional schemes, and just a lot of stuff is just set up to do some really good content. So what you guys think about that, man? Should I go back to doing that, right? Or do you want to see me and then you see some other lames or whatever out there copying what I do, talking about we're all talking about the same stuff. I know you guys don't care about stuff like that. Probably nor should you, right? You're just fans. You guys are desperate for content. You will take anything. I mean anything. So it could be a complete knockoff, overseas brand, Top Billin. You guys are good with it, right? So I don't know. That's just not my style, whatever like that. I always like to stay 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of people. So I don't know. But your boy Drew Brees, with him coming back, got me thinking. I was like, one last ride, pause, with Drew Brees and the Saints and maybe some other teams and get it going there. A lot of people, y'all wouldn't know this, but my first ever interview in this business, right, even though I do film studies and stuff, Drew Brees' people reached out to me for me to interview him with when he was doing the Tide stuff, right, the laundry detergent stuff. So they wanted me to interview him, and shit was gonna be the bomb, because I was gonna ask him the type of questions that I wanted to ask, right, not these cookie cutter questions and stuff. I was gonna ask him some scheme type stuff or whatever he could answer on that front, or just football nuance type stuff. But Bleacher Report nixed it, trying to be greedy. I think they were asking for money for them to talk about Tide. They wanted to ask me a couple of questions, or wanted me to ask him some questions about what he was doing with Tide. So it is what it is. But that's my guy, man. I love Drew Brees. I love Sean Payton. I love the entire state of Louisiana, period, baby. I mean, so that's why I'm always able to do good content, whatever it has to do with the Saints or the Tigers or whatever like that. So I don't know. What you guys think, man? You let me know. But until you let me know, man, let's go ahead and give into a little bit of a film study. See what Drew Brees was doing here in this Vikings game. Actually, I'm going to call it audible here. I'm going to come back with the film study on part 2 so we can jump straight into that, because I know you guys only watch 2 or 3 minutes before you run in the comment section anyway. And I want any new person to see this just to jump straight into a film study and see what was going on, man. As far as the Saints go for its prospects for next season, it's funny, man. Drew Brees, we see right here. I left this man. He was on top of the world, and he's still there. He's old as hell, man. Drew Brees is 41 years old now with 27 TDs and 4 interceptions, and he missed quite a few games there, right, with an injury. Completing 74% of his passes, right, in Sean Payton's offense. I know if people do remember from that time, right, I was disenchanted with the Saints offense. I even wrote an article that said that it was time for Sean Payton to relinquish his play calling duties because he was just too pass happy, right? And I felt like the Saints were always soft when they got to the playoffs, when they would go against some of these teams like Seattle. I think that was the last when I covered them. I think they played Seattle, and I think Seattle ended up winning the championship that year. And they were just too soft to work with Seattle. They were just too much of a pass happy team. But obviously I kept up. I haven't missed a Saints game since. I watch every Saints game. And I noticed that he calls it the guy that I wanted him to take over the play calling duties at the time. I said that he should go out and get Kyle Shanahan, who those guys were, I believe, were just fired from Washington. And I thought Kyle Shanahan would bring a nice ground approach that they could marry and mesh with what Sean Payton does through the air. But Sean Payton, to his credit, ended up actually really focusing on the ground and really focusing on the offensive line. Beyond guys like Jari Evans and everything, they ended up getting better tackles since I left. But they still have a lot to do, to me, as far as the personnel goes on both sides of the ball. When the Saints were rocking, it was definitely a lot about that defense as well. And the defense, for the most part, is pretty good now. They just got a few holes to fill there. But as far as the offense goes, I know you guys want to hear about Taysom Hill and everything like that, but this is the straw that stirs the drink to me. Look at this. In 2013, when I was there, he was completing 68% of his passes. They threw the ball 650 times, right? Typical Sean Payton type stuff. Drew Brees had 39 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Last year, I guess we'll go the year before just to see what was going on. 32 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, threw the ball 489 times, right? Missed one game or didn't play in one game there, but 3,900 yards opposed to 5,100 yards back then. You can tell the approach was just a little bit different. And look at that, a 13-win season, right? One of the best seasons since the Super Bowl year, right? That's the approach there. But from what I saw in the Vikings game, they'll be fine. Obviously, with Drew Brees, there's not too many out there better. I know everybody wants to move on. They say that you can only stick around long enough for people to want to see something different, and I think that's what it is, even with the guy as great as Drew Brees. So, I don't know, man. But tune in for part 2, and we'll go ahead and get in a little bit of a film study in the film session. But I just wanted to kind of put this out here and just let you know, or trying to tease a direction. This is not a for sure thing, but I'm just going to take it and see what the people does and see what they do and how you guys react to it, all right? But with that being said, it's your boy Murf, the Underground King, top Billin Sports, and I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.